So what's an abstract class? Is a class that you use the word abstract when you implement in front of the class. So this is an example. And also it may or may not include abstract methods. So what is the abstract method? Abstract method is the method that declare without an implementation. Just like when we did the interface, right? But this one has to say the word abstract in front. Like for interface, you don't say the word abstract, right? Now, like we said, the method without implementation, so you just end with semicolon. Now, the abstract class contains, may or may not contain abstract methods. Like in this case, we have abstract class name graphic object contains abstract method name door. Okay, an important thing is the abstract classes cannot be instantiated, and that means we cannot create an instance of that class, but they can be inherited. They can be subclasses, right? So when it should be a subclass, that the subclass usually provides implementation for all of the abstract methods in its parent class. However, if it does not, then the subclass also be declared abstract. So in other words, when you extend the abstract, you can also implement the abstract methods, or you can just make the method as abstract too. So method is an interface. So like I said, the method is just like an interface, right? Like we're not implementing it. So it's a method is an interface that are not declared as default or static. Right, when we do the interface, remember, we don't have to use the abstract in front, correct? Because it's actually implicitly abstract. Okay. Because you don't implement. So, but for interface, you don't need to put that. But for abstract, you need to put it. So we just try to compare between abstract classes and interface, right? This is an example. I'm going to create an abstract. We can look at our questions, pay calculator, right? Abstract class. So, pay calculator. And this is an abstract class, then what do we need to do? Put the word abstract in front. That has an attribute pay rate given in dollars per hour. The class should also have a method compute pay. Alright, so we're gonna have an attribute. It's a dollars per hour. So let's use big decimal to deal with the money. Right, pay rate as the type. You need to import big decimal in, and we need compute pay, right, which passing the hours to it. Now if I'm talking about I want to create the abstract, I'm not talking about the question yet, okay? I just try to show you I didn't completely read the question, but try to show you when you create a method, compute pay, and you pass in the number of hours. This could be a double. And this is going to return, it says going to return the pay for a given amount of time, the pay in big dash small. So that's it, right? This is how you create an abstract class and abstract method. Now let's see if we have question about creating an interface here. Here, the next one. I want you to compare between interface and abstract. Message encoder. Create an interface message encoder that has a single abstract method encode. Right. You have the abstract method, but you don't need to say the word abstract because it's implicitly, right? Abstract. Okay, let me show you. So, new interface, right? We create an interface now. Interface name message encoder. So, you see that instead of abstract class, we just replace with interface word here, right? Has a single abstract method encode plain text, where plain text is the message to be encoded. So encode string plain text, and we just do void to encode. You see any keyword abstract here? No, but it's implicitly abstract. For interface you don't need to put it. And the method will be encoded. The method will return the encoded message. So I need to return a string, then not a void. Now, comparing this to the interface and the abstract, so that's pretty much the difference when you implement it. So comparing interface, right? It's the method in an interface. Look at the method in an interface that are not declared as default or statics. We don't need to declare the modifiers, right? The abstract modifier is not used with interface method. It can be used, but it isn't necessary because it's implicitly abstract. Like say here, statics are implicitly abstract. If you want to say abstract, it's not hurt, but it isn't necessary. Because abstract means, what's the abstract method means again? It means a method that is declared without an implementation. This is it. It's abstract method by default, right? But in interface it's not necessary to do that. Why? Because all the methods in the interface, you're not going to implement them. Like the difference now you're going to see in the abstract class, some method is say here, right? It may or may not include abstract methods. If you have the abstract methods, you're not implementing it and put a keyword in front. But if you happen to have another method that you try to implement it, you could implement, you don't need to put the word abstract in front. Okay, let's see example. Alright, so Like I said, I'm going to create another method in here. Like I said, I didn't talk about the equation here. I just use this a little bit. And let's think about what pay calculator should do. Compute pay, compute tax, maybe. Compute not only payroll. What else do we have? Compute deductions. Yeah, right. We have to deduct, right, for the health plan and things like that, or social. And it's going to return big decimal. So we do deduction based on we need to pass in something to compute. What is the payroll deduct based on? Your maybe pay rates. Is it right? Let's think. So make it easy for this calculation. We're just going to use pay rate here, which is already an attribute, so we don't need to pass anything in then, right? We just need to return this dot pay rate. Oh, we might want to pass in the percent, right? The percentage, like deduct rate, and we pass in the deduct rate here. So deduct rate is supposed to be, let's make it like money again, like how much you want to deduct out. Then we can just subtract, right? Compute deduction. Let's make it as like percentage as the rates then. So if I want to do percentage here, what should be a data type? Double, right? Because the point percent times. Now it's going to return. Okay, let's see what's wrong here. Oh, because it big decimal type. It's not integer or double. So you need to use the method multiply like if you use the amount. If you don't use the percentage, you have to do subtract. Now since it has to do with a big decimal, then this has to be new big decimal. Make it as a big decimal too. So if I make it as percentage, right, it's going to compute the rates for you and return a compute deduction. Yes, percentage. Alright. Now, you may see now on the interface, you will never ever have the method that being implemented, but for abstract, we see some can be an abstract, we're not implementing it, and some can be implemented as just regular methods. So you may see the difference there. Now, These are some good thing about abstract classes compared to interface. I'd like you to go into this link and